Hello and welcome to a very special episode of R&R's Ask the Expert. I'm Kayla McGowan, editor-in-chief, and today our special guest is somebody I've known for a really long time and who has watched me grow in the industry, and he's an industry veteran. Tim Hull is our special guest. He is the owner and president of Violand Management Associates. Tim has been with VMA since 2008, and he serves this industry with high standards of service, professionalism, and integrity. Please welcome Tim.
Wow, that's a heck of an introduction. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
of course. I mean, I think we've known each other for, gosh, probably going on 11 years now. And,
Yeah.
we've both grown in the industry. So it's really cool to see that. And I think it's a very special opportunity to talk about Violand and their upcoming business retreats, but also just what everything means to you, this industry means to you. So I'm really fortunate to have this opportunity to talk to you about all of this. Um, so we have two coming up, right? Two key events coming up for you guys. One is in Ohio and one is in Florida. So for somebody who hasn't attended, can you kind of walk us through what the key components are for attendees and how it builds into their business plan during this retreat?
Yeah, absolutely. Business planning retreat, that time of year is I love the fall to begin with, but it's kind of invigorating time. Kids are back to school. You're really thinking about, planning for next year, and it's a season of change, right? And our business planning retreats are, of course, special to us in a lot of different ways. We've been doing them for about a quarter century now. It's a special time of the year for us to come together and be able to sit down with our clients and other colleagues from the industry and really think about the coming year. The retreats, of course, have evolved over the years. Have you seen them? And traditionally, we do one in Canton, Ohio, which is our home of our headquarters. But then we also head to Florida or a resort destination to do one down there. And I think we'll talk a little bit about how they're different coming up here in a little bit. But essentially, if anybody that's watching that has never been to a business planning retreat before, we started this with really two intentions. One was to educate our clients on how to write a business plan. So there's an educational component to it, but also to help them write their plan. So it's a guided event that we host over a series of 3 days. Of course, we guide the conversation and step the attendees through each of the different components on composing and writing a business plan. Our entire staff is there to help assist, provide guidance, support, and really work through maybe some of the thornier issues that you might want to talk about when thinking about planning for the coming year. Ultimately, the end of the day, the product that you walk out of there with after 3 days is an executable style plan, not something for presenting to a bunch of investment bankers, but something you can work with and use as a guide throughout the year to keep you on track as you continue to grow your business. So it's a great event. And of course, the networking side of things, getting to see everybody under one roof at the same time, is exciting for us every year as well.
Yeah, and I would definitely say too, it falls at the perfect time. No wonder it's in fall, but it's right before everybody is solidifying their strategy or plan for the coming year, right?
Mhm.
And so I think it's a perfect time because a lot of times we get caught up in the chaos in this industry, and it just gives us a second to slow down and really focus on our business. And I've heard so many great things from all different levels, people who attend every year, people who it's their first time, maybe their second time. I mean, this is something that people look forward to. So if you haven't attended, I would highly recommend that you do for various reasons. There's a great networking component. You get to meet the entire team there at Viola, and they're all really fantastic. They know their stuff and they're as passionate about your business as you are. So it's very interesting to see how it all happens. And really, you get to learn from other industry professionals as well that are sitting in that same seat that you are, right? What works for them, what doesn't work for them, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So it's really cool to see how it all comes together. And it also gives people the opportunity to build a business plan. I don't know how many times we've talked to people, which you probably do this more than I do, and they don't even know where to start, right? Some people are scared to change their business plan in the middle of the year. They don't think they should, but that's being fluid is part of this owning and operating business portion of what people do in the day to day. So, these retreats are for really trade industries, but for us, cleaning and restoration obviously is our focus, right? So, how do these retreats help these companies align their teams and set measurable goals for the year ahead and beyond?
Yeah, so one of the big components that you hear us talk about all the time is the major business objectives. And when you come to the retreat, we've got kind of our own lingo. It's neat to see people adopt that over the years. So as they return for your future years and writing their business plan, you get to hear them say those things. But the major business objectives are really kind of like where it all comes together. So we start at a high level with the mission and vision of the organization, where they want to go with long-term goals, and then we boil that down into measurable objectives from a year-to-year basis. Each one of those MBOs, we make sure has got measurable components to it. So for two reasons: one, to track progress, and then two, to determine whether it's successful or a failure in some ways. But making sure that each one of those MBOs has both leading and lagging key performance indicators that we can track throughout the course of the years keeps everybody on track. And if you've been to the retreats, you know when our advisors sit down with you, they're expecting to see answers and results. So we try to push the attendees to to produce something that is definitely measurable and trackable throughout the year.
Yeah, and I was definitely say there's a lot of accountability on both sides, right? You guys help mentor and coach, and they have to also prove that they're working just as hard as you guys are to set them up for success, right? So I think it's really cool to see the accountability on both sides, but I also think you start to see people feel a passion and a pride of these business strategies and plans for themselves, right? At first, it's really intimidating, I think. And then once you see people who have been there a couple of times, or maybe their first time, the light bulb goes off, right? Those aha moments, those are
Mhm.
just incredible to see because even if they don't say anything, you can see it on their face. And I can only imagine the joy and pride that brings you guys. That's really cool to see how people are able to evolve and make their business grow and also just have measurable opportunities. Some people don't even know how to track things, right? So it's just really cool to see how that all happens. So speaking of that, you've seen a lot of people just transform themselves and their businesses over the years. How have past attendees kind of share their success with you, or what have you seen after they've implemented these plans that they developed at the retreats?
Yeah, this is probably my favorite part of it, Kayla, and the most rewarding, I think, from where we sit, which is a privileged seat, by the way, to be able to work with business owners all across the country and see hundreds and hundreds of different businesses just kind of come together and grow. You can tell just by the number of people they bring. First time attendees have a tendency to be either themselves and a partner, themselves and a spouse. And you're right, they kind of sit there and it's like it's kind of intimidating. But when you do the prep work that is necessary to come down there, it breaks the ice a little bit, and then you start to network and talk to people, and you become more comfortable. But quite honestly, the first couple times it might be just one or two people from that organization that come. And then as the years go on and their business grows, you can see their table gets bigger and bigger at the retreat. And pretty soon they've got their sales manager there, their operations manager, and you can just see kind of how those businesses blossom over the years. And of course, many of them are our clients, so we're working with them on a regular basis, and we see that internally. But for those who are not, man, it's really neat to see them come back and bring, hey, I brought this guy or this individual, or I brought on this position this past year because I accomplished what I wrote out in the plan, and it's very rewarding to see on our side.
Yeah, it's almost like a proud parent moment, right?
It is.
Like those are all your kids and they're bringing in their friends or whatever. It's just such a cool full circle moment, right? Because at one time we were all sitting in that seat, actually, right? We were in a situation that maybe was a little intimidating, but now there's a family aspect to this here at Violand. Everybody looks forward to it. In fact, I just got a message earlier asking, "Are you going to Ohio and to Florida?" And I was like, oh, it's that time of year. Everybody's asking to see who's going, right? It's one of those things we really look forward to. And it's extremely important for people to understand that, yes, there's a networking aspect, but this is an opportunity for you to focus on your business and also bring in other team members, right? To your point, someone might come, they might be the owner, they're by themselves. And then as the years progress, they're bringing all types of people from their organization because honestly, these events benefit everybody in your company. Truly, it's amazing to see that it's not just super super high level. You're working on the entire business, which is really important. And I think a lot of times people staff level think that they shouldn't be included, right? So it's really cool to see how everybody can be involved and what role they play. So with that being said, we've talked about Ohio and Florida. So what are the differences between those two retreats, and how do these locations kind of enhance the experience for participants?
Yeah, this is the big battle that goes on every year, Canton or Florida, and usually shouldn't be that hard of a discussion, right? But I think early on we had the Canton retreat for maybe a more affordable audience. If you were a smaller organization, didn't necessarily have the travel budget that some of the bigger ones did, it gave you the same components to the program, just in a different setting. Although the facility that we have in Canton is first class too, but it's a different structure. I think over the years it's kind of evolved into Canton being longer work days. So we have a little bit longer of an agenda when you come to Canton. Mainly because when you're in Florida in November and the sun's shining outside, it's 82 degrees. It's pretty hard to keep everybody's attention past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we do like to work hard in the morning and then go play hard in the afternoon in Florida. But same curriculum, just a different format, different feel and vibe. If you had to choose between the two, I would say, if you're a point in your business where you really need to get away from your business for one, sit down and kind of focus on what needs to be done in the coming year, without distraction, Canton is probably a better decision. If you're looking for a different environment where you can get out, maybe make a little bit of a vacation out of it, still be serious about business, but have a little bit of playtime too in the afternoon. Florida's a tough place to beat in November.
Yeah, and I would definitely say we know how November looks in some of the parts of the country, especially Canton, right? It could be snowing, you never know. It could
Right.
be sunny, right? You just never know. Weather is very unpredictable these days, but I would definitely say to your point, you're getting the same experience and the same structure and the same education and topics, right? I would also say some people don't like the beach. Some people don't like humidity, right? And so if you don't like either of those things, Canton would be the place to go. And you guys have a beautiful setup up there, right? Both are beautiful, both offer networking opportunities, and most importantly, both allow you to focus on your business, right?
Mhm.
They're just at different times, different locations, but they do offer the same outcome for those who are in attendance. And if you haven't been up to Canton, now's your opportunity to go see the team in their, habitat in their hometown, right? Which is really
Mhm.
cool to see.
And
Um,
it is pretty in October there. I mean, it's fall, so leaves are probably just at the tail end of changing colors, especially this year with how dry it's been. But it is a beautiful time of year up there and comfortable. So you're not going to freeze.
Yeah, yeah. I would definitely say when I was just there, it was really beautiful. In July, I was expecting it to be extremely miserable, right? Like hot. I'm from Vegas, dry heat. I will take humid heat any day. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but it was really beautiful. And the greenery, I can only imagine what that looks like in fall, right? If you're a big fall lover, that would be the opportunity, right? But if you're a palm tree lover, maybe Florida's your best bet. We've kind of talked about a lot, but there's one thing that I wanted to kind of talk about, especially because Violand sponsored this amazing award, is at the event in Florida, we're actually awarding the Technician Award. You guys have sponsored this multiple times, and we know that it's so important to you guys there at Violand. What does it truly mean to you guys, not only to sponsor this award, but have it awarded at your guys' event?
Yeah, well, having it awarded at our event is very honoring, so we appreciate that. But I think just the award itself, we're so proud to be associated with it because many of us, we grew up as technicians, and and I can say that with confidence. I've got the calluses to prove it, and but we all grew up with the intent to make a better life for ourselves, advance our own careers. But these are folks that work tirelessly day in and day out, not just advance their own careers, but they've helped build the industry we have today. So in a lot of ways, the environment in which we operate today were the byproduct of the technicians' efforts years and years ago. So this is the future generation that we're talking about. So we believe wholeheartedly, in the efforts that those those folks put together, and we're very proud to be a part of that and sponsor that award. So excited to give it away. You know, we've got prizes of our own. The technician that wins is going to get a free seat in our supervisory technician program. That is a continuing education program geared towards allowing technicians to develop into supervisor level positions. And then, of course, we're going to reward the winning company with a free seat at the retreat so they can all participate in it together. So, very exciting time for us and very proud of our ability to support that award.
Yeah, we're very proud too because you guys are so big on education and training and networking, and we believe that technicians also need that. And, to your point, most people who are actually sitting in those seats started as a technician, right? And it just shows them what they can work towards and also how much we appreciate our technicians, right? They're our front line, there are customer service, there are worker bees. They do a lot for our business and it's so cool to kind of see them in that experience and just really soak it all in. And technicians, like, again, they're so important. I know you guys are so proud of this award. So we thank you guys for not just sponsoring, but allowing us to award this award there at your guys' retreat in November. We can't wait to do that and see you guys in Ohio and Florida. But Tim, that's all I have. Or do you have any closing words for everybody listening?
I don't think so. I appreciate you allowing me to come on and talk through this with everybody and maybe see if anybody was kind of riding the fence on decision whether they want to come. Just come on, give it a try. It's a great time. Many of the folks that attend, it's years and years and years in the making, and for a lot of them, it's kind of become a reunion. You know, they've made friendships there, professional colleagues, and they keep coming back year every year. So come be a part of that journey with us.
Yes, I will definitely say well said, Tim. Truly, it is a family environment, 100%. Everybody looks to see where everybody has started and ended in this calendar year, and some people have been there for, like we said, 20 years or so. I know plenty of people who have been there every year, all of your events actually, not just these two. So thank you guys for all that you guys do, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next couple of months a couple of times. And for all of you watching, thank you for watching. We will see you on the next episode of Ask the Expert. Take care.
We'll see you. Thank you.